Hi guys, it's Shannon Patricia again at the Hard Rock Cafe at Make Music Seattle. I am here with Tobias the Owl, as well as Rachel and Andrew. You guys just performed and you just had a lovely set. I wanted to ask you, what's essentially your origin story? How did you all get together for the project?
Well, I was a solo project for a while because I didn't have any friends. And then Andrew said, I will be your friend. And so I said, well, you can have an instrument then, and you can play with me too. And then
in line at a grocery store, no less.
Oh yeah, that's right.
What was that?
We met
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was playing with a group called Sightseer, which is also a pretty well-known act in Seattle here, and I was on my way to rehearsal with them at the time, and he was in line. He was like, "Hey, you play bass?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I play with Sightseer." He's like, "Oh, that's a good band." He's like, I have a thing called Tobias the Owl," and I was just listening to his work, and I was like, "I know your work. I love Murmurs," which is one of the songs that's on this album. And he was like, "Hey, I sometimes need a bass player," and I'm like, "Hey, I'm sometimes available." So
That's exactly what I love about the music scene in Seattle. Is you can quite literally go up to someone at a grocery store and be like, "Hey, want to jam?" And it can turn into something awesome. Now, I really want to know about your song process specifically. Do you write the lyrics yourself?
Yeah, I do all the songwriting in terms of like chords and melodies and lyrics. Yeah.
And then as far as the overlapping with the vocals, so during the second to last song that you played when Rachel and you are overlapping, is that something that comes after? Or is that something that you kind of have in your head where you're like, okay, I want this song to have this? Like, what exactly is the process?
That was Sheets to the Wind, I think, for that song. I think I had that in mind beforehand, but I know Rachel sometimes adds stuff, and then it's, you added the stuff after the chorus, the bridge part. You added that, and that was your thing, yeah.
I like to come up with my own harmonies for a lot of songs, so yeah, it's kind of my thing.
And she's a great songwriter too. Yeah.
Oh, do you write some of the songs as well, or do you have a second project?
I have a solo project just under my name, Rachael Cunha. I'm actually working on my second solo album currently. I have a friend, his name is Faint Peter, and he's producing my album.
Awesome. And when
Andrew's a great songwriter too, actually, in his own right. I'm lucky to hear some of his stuff. Yeah.
So shy about the compliment. That's how I know it's true. So when is the next album going to be released? I'm sorry, I had to. I'm sorry.
No, it's a commonly enjoyed pun. So the new album is called A Safe Harbor for Wayward Echoes, and that's coming out August 24th on Megaforce Records, and it's being produced by Grammy winner Sheldon Gomberg. He's a really gifted producer, and it features Ben Harper, Laura Veers, Inara George, Andrew Jocelyn, and a lot of other good friends.
So what made you want to come out to perform for Make Music Seattle for everyone today?
Linda and Mark, so I organized the Seattle Acoustic Festival, and Linda and Mark were like, do you want to do, in your capacity as the organizer of the Seattle Acoustic Festival, something for Make Music Day? And I was like, no, because I'm a mess, because we got this album coming out, and it's like so much work, and we've been like promoting it a lot. So I didn't do anything for Make Music Day. And then they were like, well, do you want to at least play at our event? And then I was like, sure, I would really, really love that. And they run Seattle Wave Radio, and Seattle Wave Radio is like one of the best platforms for independent musicians in the city for getting international exposure. So I would do anything to help Linda and Mark.
So for everyone that saw you perform today, where... I'm gonna redo that last bit. Sorry. Yeah. So for those who saw you perform live today, where can they go buy your new album, or where can they see you play live next?
Our next full band show is July 29th at the Tractor, and it's a circus show. So there's going to be circus performers while we're playing. And our violinist, who was not here today, does like the sheets thing. So he'll be doing that while we're playing too. So it's going to be an interesting show. It's going to be at the Tractor July 29th with Heather Edgley and Lenore and Season of Strangers. So a lot of incredible bands.
Awesome. Fantastic. And is there anything else that you would like to add before we sign off today?
If you love music, do it. If you love music, just do it.
Actually, you know, that's a great question. So, because you have gained such acclaim, what would you say to someone who maybe is like playing in their living room in Seattle right now, and they're making a record? What would be the advice that you would give them?
Gosh, you know, yeah, I agree. Get out there. I mean, if you want to do music, you really have to have like a lot of heart and soul and passion about it. And I feel like we made the album because we had so much of a dog in the race, you know, where like we really put a lot of our hearts and our souls into this common theme that kind of unifies the album. But yeah, I would say Seattle is such a supportive, wonderful, friendly, warm, incredible musical community like no other city in the world probably. So if you're making music at home, come out and make it with others.
Awesome. Well, you guys need to check out Tobias the Owl. And again, this is Shannon Patricia from VergeStudiosMusic.com. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Verge Studios. Thank you.